Hey everybody, this is John Crable. I'll be your instructor this semester in Principles of Business. Wanted to get things kick-started with a conversation on Chapter 6, and that is entrepreneurship. And so a couple of things here. If you go to our classroom and you click on McGraw-Hill Connect Library, click on this button, it will take you to the Connect site so that you can go in and access all of the different pieces of information. Electronic textbook, Learn Smart, Connect exercises and activities, test prep, everything that you're going to need as far as that goes. Again, our classroom, McGraw-Hill Connect Library, click on that. It'll take you right to you. Also wanted to walk you through the course schedule and what we have coming up this week. We're going to talk right now about Chapter 6, which is Entrepreneurship and Small Business. And we're going to go over things in a couple different ways. First of all, we're going to look at what do you need to know from a test standpoint, right? What is the content? What's the context that is going to be presented to you? The other part to this is we're just going to have an open discussion. What does this mean in terms of running a small business? Why do it? How to get started, lessons that we've learned. And from that standpoint, actually, let me put a pin in that. If you look right here, Chapter 6, Connect, Exercise, Learn Smart, and Exercise right there, what you see is those both are going to be due at the end of this week. You also have a Chapter 7, Connect, Learn Smart. You also have active participation. Let's go check out that active participation right now. You click on discussion board at the left, and you actually have two this week, right? We have introductions. I want you to film probably about a 2-minute video. Listen, you can do upload it to YouTube. You can do it on your phone. You can use your webcam. You can make a TikTok video for all I care, right? But I want you to focus on, your personal and professional information. Get it out to your classmates so that they have the ability to network and grow from there. The second part to this is learn from an entrepreneur. We want you to engage with this one as well. And what we want you to do is go and click on one of these links. Wall Street Journal, Entrepreneurs of Columbus, Startup Story. You're going to find one of those entrepreneurs and one of those links that you really personally connect with. Maybe it's shared culture, maybe it's shared industry, maybe it's shared location. Doesn't matter. But we want you to find someone and then answer those following questions, right? Who did you select and why? Share that article, share that podcast with that person that you found really interesting. And also the application of that. Not just what you found interesting, but how it impacts your decision making going forward. And then what lessons were shared that resonated with you the most, right? The why. That's the key part of this, right? We want to understand why you found that so important. Real quick, again, if we go to our classroom, Learning Unit 1, click on Entrepreneurship and Management, you're going to have assignments, you're going to have videos, you're going to have all these different things to help you through your learning. But right now, what I want to do is I want to get to what we're going to talk about really quickly, and that is going to be entrepreneurship from the standpoint of what you would read in a textbook. Now, there's a couple things with this. We can talk about entrepreneurship and we can talk about small business in a theoretical sense. I don't think that makes sense, right? I live and die with entrepreneurship and small business on a daily basis. Had the opportunity to previously or currently own 4 small businesses at this point in time. My entry point into entrepreneurship was that I lost my job and I didn't have an income, but I had 2 kids at home to feed. That 11-month-old twin boys at that point in time. My wife was a teacher, had taken a year off of work, so we went from riding high to 0 income in the span of a couple hours. And if you don't think that you have it in you, you're just cruising along in life, that will snap you back into reality and make you take some type of action, right? For me, it was starting a business, and that's the path that I've been on. 10, 11, 12 years at this point in time. And so I want to look at these things, and I'm going to point out pieces of content that are very important for you to know for the exam. But I also think it's more important for you to know how we apply these concepts of entrepreneurship going forward. And I'm going to point out a couple things here really quickly. You look at opportunity, and one of the things that I've really tried to work on myself on is just recognizing those opportunities as they come along and as they make sense for me. Just because an opportunity is there doesn't mean it makes sense for you. So what are your values? What's driving you? What are your goals to where you feel that you can take advantage and seize that opportunity? I would also tell you that I want you to focus on the profit part of it as well, because we can bake, or we can do landscaping, or we can start a construction company or walk dogs or anything like that. But if the profit isn't there to meet the goals that you have, you're going to fall out of love with it. So I think we need to not only look for possibilities, but we need to look for profitability as well. Let's do a couple different things here. So let's just look at opportunities, problems into opportunities. And notice that that's what I'm focusing on here, right? It's not enough to give someone the solution. You have to really understand the problem, the pain point that customer group is experiencing. So the first one, if it fills customer needs, right? That's the key part. If there is a demonstrated need for this product or service, then that's where you start building the ideas and solutions for your small business. Do you have the right skills? Do you have the right resources, right? Reasonable price and profit. I don't know. What does reasonable mean, right? You can buy a Mercedes and you can buy a Kia. Reasonable, right? For the Mercedes, though that target demographic, they have the money. It's a reasonable decision for them to make. But down here, the Kia people, the Kia target market, they're not going out and spending money on a Mercedes. So it's not just the reasonable, but it's also the alignment with that customer group and understanding what they need to be able to be successful. Excuse me. I would say that we really want to focus on an entrepreneurial team, not just you. Even if it's a solopreneur business or a sole proprietor business, do you have people that you can rely on? An advisory board almost of legal and accounting and insurance-based and industry-based people that you can bounce ideas off of and will give you honest feedback. Don't look at it from the Apple perspective. Look at it from the small business perspective. And what does that mean? And I would also just like to bring up this concept of intrapreneurs, right? Not all of us are willing, we don't have the risk appetite to go out, quit a job, and start something completely new. Or, it doesn't even have to be quit a job, right? Do a side hustle that parallels what we're doing with our professional lives. You can still be an entrepreneur inside of your existing business, inside of your existing company, but work with your manager, work with your supervisor, work with your boss, take on more responsibility and develop new ideas and products and solutions inside of a company, right? So the intra is working inside of a company. The entrepreneurial is part of, being outside, doing something on your own. And I also want to bring up this concept of micropreneurs, and I'm going to show you a couple other statistics as well. Excuse me. Micropreneurs look at it as home-based business, look at it as seasonal business, look at it as side hustle, something that is just small, right? And maybe this is the beautiful part about entrepreneurship for you is you just want to earn enough money to take your kids to Disney World every year. That's a great goal to have. That could be the definition of a micropreneur or home-based business. And most importantly, is that it allows you to meet your own goals. I'm not putting goals on you. It has to be specific to what you see and what you want with your business. Now, the other part to this too is you can do this from anywhere. You can do it from a park bench. You can do it from work. You can do it from home. And so you have the flexibility in your schedule. And I think the last, 2020 has taught us that you do have flexibility even if you're working from home or working from not a usual office environment. Now, one of the things that I would also tell you with being a micro or a really small solopreneur business is that you want to find ways to increase the legitimacy of your company in your customers' eyes. Okay, this could be not just having a Facebook page for your business, but having a real website for your business. Not just having it dial to your personal phone number, but having a dedicated office line And that can ring to your phone number, right? But you have to know when you answer that phone the difference between your mom's calling you or a potential customer is calling you. And that need is really important, and also will create legitimacy in the eyes of your potential customers. Bring your attention here to enterprise zones. The city of Columbus, Franklin County, state of Ohio does a lot of good work with opportunity zones, enterprise zones, where you can get tax credits, where you can get grants for starting a business in certain areas. I think Franklinton is one of those areas right now. I think Linden is one of those areas right now here in the city of Columbus. So something that you can do to really start and give yourself a leg up as you go forward. Now, we're going to talk about small business here, and I know that the book gives you statistics. I wanted to present some other statistics to you as well. I've had the opportunity to run the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program here in Columbus for the past couple years, and we have maybe like 45 or so small businesses located go through that program. As you look at that, right, how many small businesses? 30.77. However, only 6 million of those have more employees than one person. So what you're thinking of is, Chase, Amazon, Walmart, all these huge companies, they only account for the employment of 0.07% of the American population. It's crazy small. But when you look at either one person up to 19, it's like 95, 97% of the people fall into that category. So that's the power of small business as you look at it from the United States perspective. Okay, let's do a couple more things here as well. I wanted to talk about failures, right? Causes of small business failures. And you're going to see too much capital, too little capital, not insurance, things like that across the board. I would actually draw your attention to the fact that the reason why most small businesses fail, and you can Google it too, is the product does not meet the needs of the customer. People are focusing on solutions to problems that do not exist. So really focus in on what is the problem, what is the pain point that someone is experiencing, and then you can develop the solutions based upon that. If you do it the other way around, you're setting yourself up to fail. And that's not something that we want to see. And this is a conversation we can have a lot of discussion specific to your business as well. When you look at for small business success, right? Focus on the personal approach to this, right? Not easily mass produced. We want customization. We want something that makes people feel unique and special. And that way we sell from a place of emotion rather than a place of facts, right? We don't buy cars because of facts. We buy cars because of emotion and something that creates that desire inside of us. So that's what we want to focus on. I'll leave it up to you all to go through the last parts of success and failure. And then the last thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to bring your attention to, let me see if I can find it here, the Small Business Administration. The SBA and the SBDC, we have an SBDC branch here on Columbus State's campus. I can introduce you to any of those people over there, and they do such a good job of understanding the key parts of your business and how to make you more successful. You're going to see this term feasibility pop up quite a bit. It's not just if the idea is possible, it's if the idea is profitable as well. And they do a fantastic job of walking businesses through those beginning steps to make sure that they feel comfortable. And then the last part that I can leave you with here today is I want you to focus in on managing small business, but most importantly, know who your customers are. Who's your target market? Why are they choosing to make this purchase? Is it an emergency purchase that they don't want to make? Or is it an emotional purchase where they really enjoy spending that money? If you can really get in and understand the key pieces and parts of why a business exists because of its customers, that is the best chance for success that I can offer you. Okay, guys, that's an intro into Chapter 6 Get into it on your own time, and we'll come back next week for management in Chapter 7.